Hi, welcome to Baystate. My name is Joeli Hettler, and I'm the Pediatric Emergency Department Division Chief here at Baystate. I want to start by congratulating you on your choice of fellowship. Pediatric emergency medicine is the best job in the world, and I'm glad that you are pursuing that along with many of us here at Baystate who love what we do. We have an incredible patient population. We have a lot of patients, a lot of diversity. Our trainees, including our pediatric emergency fellows, have no trouble getting the kinds of procedures and interesting cases that they need to become the physicians of the future. I really enjoy what we have here, which is a very close relationship with a strong and healthy adult ED residency. Being nested within the adult ED has a lot of benefits. We're the biggest pediatric ED in the country that's nested in an adult ED, and our adult ED is the busiest ED in the state of Massachusetts. And so that provides us with a lot of really cool airway toys. It provides us with the latest technologies and a lot of the fancy things that the fellows will show you downstairs in the trauma rooms and the resuscitation rooms. And in addition, it provides us with a lot of ready-made smart friends who can help us help fulfill those areas of our training that maybe weren't as robust in a pediatric residency. And for those of you that are EM trained, we absolutely know where you're coming from and love what you have to bring to our training program. I would say that our faculty here are incredible. We have 13 faculty members. They represent a diversity of experiences and training. We take our inclusion and diversity initiatives really seriously and are very excited about some of the initiatives we have going on in the adult ED, including a disparities fellowship, which we just started, which is really exciting. So I hope that you ask a lot of questions, and I look forward to talking with as many of you as I can today. Thank you.
So my name's Andrew. I'm one of the second-year Pediatric Emergency Medicine Fellows here at Baystate. I've been here for almost a year and a half at this point in time. I've really enjoyed everything so far. In terms for why I picked Baystate, as well as what kind of drew me here initially, was honestly the people that I met were very genuine at the very beginning. And they've kind of really followed throughout these past, year and a half. It's really confirmed just that very first impression. Coming from some of the people that you'll see through this tour, they're really showing all sides of themselves, not just as clinicians.
My name's Lisa. I'm the third-year fellow, and so I've been here somewhat over 2 years at this point. I came to Baystate for similar reasons. I was really relaxed when I was here. I felt like everybody was relaxed, and that helped. I came back to fellowship mostly because I wanted to improve my clinical skills and be a better clinician, and everybody here has a similar sort of a feeling. They all strive to be good clinicians, and they're academic in that they read and they understand things and pay attention to things, but people here have lives and families and enjoy them. And that was really important to me.
I did my pediatric residency in Brooklyn, New York, and it was a very different kind of culture as well as just environment. I was in a very large city and a tertiary center that had multiple hospitals that we covered, and it really kind of exposed me to different levels of pediatric care in the emergency department and kind of inspired me to kind of go through that path. I felt that if you're going to commit a large part of your time and responsibility, it's wonderful to have a skill set to be able to help people as well as to be inspired by your work. And it's luckily been holding true for all these years. And I really can't say enough about this job that I really do love it. And even just the surprise of living in Western Mass, which honestly I had no tie to beforehand. But it's been wonderful to be out here, and especially during these times where you get to enjoy the environment.
I fell into absolutely the best job for me. I love what I do. And specifically, pediatric emergency medicine has been really wonderful for me. It gives me the opportunity to talk to families about fevers and also to deal with end-of-life situations. So the variety is what I thrive on.
I would say if somebody was coming in brand new who didn't know anything about Baystate, much like myself, is to really have an open mind, to really kind of take in all the information and to really kind of explore this as an opportunity. I think for somebody who had no ties here, it was something that was such a great surprise as I learned more and kind of peeled back. It's kind of just like how Shrek says with the onions, you just kind of keep peeling back and you get a new layer every single time. And really it's been a great experience here at Baystate to kind of learn more from all our different faculty who come from all different backgrounds. And if there's two words that really kind of come to mind is compassion and really teamwork. And I know it sounds very cliche to kind of say that, but you really learn that throughout all kind of different portions of our emergency department, as well as even just in the hospital. Our relationships with, our ICU care, they come down for all of our resuscitations, to our adult colleagues who are more than welcome to lend a hand for any kind of, bad cases. In addition, we, have times to where we actually meet up just to kind of talk about all these things in terms of focusing on our wellness and making sure that, we aren't feeling burnt out or overwhelmed and really checking in with each other. And I think that's something that is, not always ingrained in every single place. And it's something that's very prevalent here to make sure that, we're all on the same page, but we're also all taking care of each other. And we have such a wonderful working relationship going from our techs, from our nursing staff, to our leads, to our clinicians, and even our trainees, to where it's been a very open environment. So also in terms for every single pediatric exam room is that we have the high flow capability in each one of ours, which is different from other kind of pediatric emergency departments. We're very high flow friendly here at Baystate. In addition, obviously, we have our suction, our ophthalmoscopes, our otoscopes, and actually what's right behind us is a little television screen that's not available in every kind of adult room, but it's helpful for us, especially when we're doing some precarious interventions with child life to help distract our kiddos when we have to do any kind of procedures.
So this is our resuscitation room. This is where we run our most significant patients, the ones who come in and are really, really sick. There's a lot of stuff in this room. There's sort of a lot of stuff to see. If I'm the airway person, I have access to many different things. We have a glide scope that has hyperangulated blades and standard geometry MAC blades. We have a CMAC that has standard geometry, both MAC and Miller blades that you have access to. So depending on what you like, you can do that. We've got our Broslow cart, which has all the various sized things for the various sized babies. And then we have an airway cart, which has all the adult sized things for when we have to resuscitate a 6'2", 17-year-old football player. This room is pretty functional. I've seen it turn into an operating room so that a neurosurgeon could put in an EVD and a drain. It is always full when we have actual recesses going on.
Welcome to the Pediatric Trauma Bay at Baystate. It's one of 3 trauma bays here in our emergency department. For pediatric traumas, it's all patients underneath 16 years of age, but we're definitely able to be consulted for any of the traumas that are occurring in the 17, 18, or even young 20-year-old kind of age demographic. In each one of our trauma bays, it has all the same kind of functionality as our resuscitation bay, but some other kind of key differences. One of those being is that you'll see on the ground that there's a little red line that helps demarcate who's actually part of the trauma team. We'll be wearing kind of different gowns when they actually come into the room. In addition, every trauma bay has its own ultrasound machine to where you can use bedside ultrasound. Here at Baystate, we have formal ultrasound, x-ray, CT scan, as well as MRI 24/7. In terms for another different thing that we have here in our trauma bay that is an elevated temperature to keep things warm, but also for our massive transfusion protocol, we have a level 1 infuser, which is right behind me, to really give a whole bunch of blood products for those who are coming with very massive hemorrhage in the trauma setting.
The trauma experience at Baystate is a pretty diverse one. We are a level 1 trauma center. We're far enough from any other major hospital that most traumas in this area come here. We have a fairly large catchment area. We're fairly far from any other major trauma center. And so anything significant that happens in the area comes here. As a first or a second year, you rotate through trauma as part of the trauma team. And then after that, you can run traumas. You can be the team leader. Both the emergency medicine residents and the surgery residents are comfortable letting us manage that position.
Hey, I'm Matt. I'm one of the second-year EM residents here at Baystate. I really like working on the pediatric side because there's a lot of collaboration between the docs, the nurses, the techs, child life. Everyone here is just such a cohesive team and really supports each other. It's awesome. I feel like we give parents and kids a lot of really great support and we provide more than just good medical care. The pediatricians and stuff that we work with on the outpatient side are just incredible about giving them quick follow-up for things. And it just blows my mind the difference between adults and peds, where like you have a kid scene and then you call the pediatrician's office and they're like, oh my gosh, we'll see him tomorrow and follow up and do all this stuff. Whereas on the adult side, like anywhere, you're like begging to get people follow up, and it's just really great that everyone circles around to take such good care of these kids.
Hi, I'm Liz. I'm one of the child life specialists here in the PDED. We really love our PEDS fellows. We work really well together as a team. We often help with procedure planning when you've got to do things for kids. We can also help you learn to work with the kids better, help with developmentally appropriate language, how to approach different situations. We also like to bring fun things to kind of help your patients be more themselves so that you can kind of get better exams and get a better feel for how your patients are feeling. And we can't wait to meet you.
Hi guys, my name is Amanda and I've been a nurse at Baystate for the last 3 years. I love my team. We have a dedicated staff who works with pediatrics. We work very well together. This is some of the best teamwork that I have ever experienced, and I really love being a nurse here.
Hi everybody, I'm Tara, the Program Administrator for the Pediatric Emergency Medicine Fellowship here at Baystate Medical Center. My role in the fellowship is to help with licensing, credentialing, and scheduling. I look forward to talking to you and meeting with you. See you soon.
Hi, my name is Holly. I'm one of the attendings. I was very impressed with the administration's response to the beginning of the COVID epidemic. We're standing in front of what we lovingly refer to as the Covillion, and this is a structure that was built very quickly back in March when we were concerned that we were going to see patient surges. I think the administration has been extremely flexible and inventive in terms of trying to find solutions for problems that they really couldn't anticipate, and this is an example of that. They also have been very dedicated to ensuring that practitioners, doctors, nurses, techs, everybody in the hospital has the personal protective equipment that we need to keep ourselves safe while we're caring for patients. They reassign people so that they're PPE coaches so that they can be sure that people are donning and doffing the PPE. And all in all, what it leaves me feeling with is that I feel very, very comfortable that I can take care of patients here safely and deliver excellent care to them despite challenging circumstances.
Hi, my name is Krista Kitchen. I'm one of the pediatric ED attendings here at Baystate, and I run the Pediatric Emergency Medicine Fellowship Simulation Curriculum. And I'm here in our simulation lab. I wanted to show you guys kind of the equipment that we use and introduce you to the space where we do our simulation learning. So to my left here, I have one of our high fidelity simulation mannequins. This is a 1-year-old. We also have a 5-year-old. We have an infant. We have adult mannequins as well to practice adolescent cases. During the cases, you have sort of the standard simulation equipment. You've got your patient monitor, which is updated by the simulation control person who is behind the screen and who knows the case. And then we've got here, also to my right, the screen where we can show imaging studies, also EKGs. So any ultrasound, CAT scan, chest x-ray that you need to see during the case would be there. And then our simulation lab does a great job of stocking equipment so that we can take care of our simulated patients. So we've got all of our airway equipment, IV fluids, medications, and then we also have a simulated Broslow cart, which is the same as the Broslow cart that you would use in a real resuscitation in the pediatric emergency department. We're lucky here at Baystate to have a dedicated simulation space that is staffed by a simulation technician that knows how to run all of the mannequins and helps us with our curriculum design and development. And our simulation program is, I think, one of the highlights of the fellowship. We really try to create like a good space where people can learn collectively. There's a really good dynamic between the fellows and the attendings, and we consider this to be a safe space where everybody can learn from each other. So thank you so much for taking a look at our sim lab.
Good luck on your interview trail. I hope that this is not super weird with all of the virtual everything. We're all doing the best we can. I'm sure you guys are doing the best you can. And we'll hope to see some of you in person at some point.
I would say similarly in terms for the interview processes, take everything in as much as you can. Enjoy the process. We're sorry that we can't all meet you guys in person, but try to find what levels of comfort that you can with each interaction that you have. I hope that everybody with your family, your friends are relatively safe and healthy. We wish you guys all the best in terms for this interview process, and please reach out if you ever need anything from us.